We're getting ready to have our vet come to share. We're moving across state lines and we're taking all of our animals, which means there's a lot of things that I didn't know when I was first on this journey. So I hope some of these tips are helping you as well. I called my vet about a month early when we knew that we are going to be headed out the door. We also need a cattle company in order to move all of our cows. We do have a trailer, but we decided we wanted to have an actual company who has done this before, since we're moving thousands and thousands of miles from where we are living currently, and that allows us to have insurance on our cattle when they're being transported, just in case something happens. And we're not a professional on how to actually move our cattle safely and where to hit all of those stops, because you're going to be stopped at all the live animal checkpoints and you need to have all your documents. So we went with a cattle company. We called around. We knew a couple of local people. You can call your 4-H. You can call your people who are a part of your ag groups. Also at the stock market, they might also have some people in mind in order to have truckers who will move and haul your cattle. We have 2 guys who are doing it, so they're gonna not take any breaks. They're just gonna drive all the way from Idaho all the way to Oklahoma, and they're just gonna switch drivers off and on. This allows our cows to be able to be transported all in one trip without having to stop. Okay, we are moving all the cows into our chute, so that way the vet can come in and check them all out. Our goal is to get most of them in here. So far, it's going good. Slow and steady wins the race, trying to fit as many as we can in. Everyone is here for the show. Winston, guarding. The sheep are in their pen today, so that way we can easily grab them and tag their ears. The vet is going to come take a look at all of the cows, and that's why we have them in this small little area, and we're just feeding them to make sure that they are good to stay here. They don't test anything and get out like they did last time. That was quite the feat. They put all of our cows in a smaller area, which is called a corral, and now Ben is walking in a couple of these cows to put them in this smaller chute, so then that way we can look at them all individually. Look at this little guy. He's made himself a little bathtub. So we use this sorting stick to also kind of help guide as like an extra arm length. And we're working with Roxanne. So when you're working with cattle, you need to make sure that they have a bangs test, and they've got this little identification tag right in the corner of their ear. That little metal bar is going to be recorded by your vet. You need to make sure you have a vet that comes out and takes a look at all of them. There's another one in that top corner on Miss Georgia, and he reads it. So we put them in a chute which hugs their head right in there. That's where we've got Darla right now. And it hugs their head, so then that way he can either put one on or take a picture of what it is, and he records it so that we know that this is the cow that we are taking. And then he looks them over, makes sure that they are nice and healthy, and gives us the okay. She's so angry with us. We put her in here. We're getting ready for the vet to come, and she is just growling at us. If you have new calves that have just been born, this little boy is 1 month old. His name is Duncan. He does not need to be tagged. He is too young to have a bang test. A bang test is required for Idaho. And so these little guys are just gonna ride with their mom, and we will take care of him when he's about 4 to 6 months in order to make sure that he has all of his identification needed. But for this trip, he doesn't need it because he is under all the requirements that are needed. He's too young. So they let him skate by. Hi, Duncan. How are you, little fluff ball? We have about 10 baby doll sheep. We're taking them with us as well. We are gonna transport these little guys in a horse trailer and pack them up with food and water when we're in there. so that they can do their travel safely. We have a checkpoint that's halfway through that we will be able to let them out. We have a friend that's in Colorado that we're able to kind of let them all out and have a resting point for a little couple of hours before we load them back in there. Sheep are a little bit easier to handle, so when it comes to letting them out, getting a drink of water, stretching their legs, they'll be easy to pack back up. All your sheep are going to require what's called a scrapies tag. These are all from our Idaho government, and you have to call them ahead of time. It took 4 weeks for these to come. They give you about 100 of them. You need to get an applicator in order to put it up on their ears. Hey, Rupert, what do you smell? This is going to go in the top corner of their ear, just like the cows, and they're going to be checked by the vet as well. I started a commotion. The little babies do need to have this is called a scrapies tag. This was something that I didn't know that they needed to have, so that was making sure that we got that ahead of time. It took 4 weeks, so make sure that you are thinking ahead of when you are leaving.